Hello, I'm Dwayne again. I'm wanting to reach out tonight about it's a topic I touched on before in one of my videos, and I wanna touch on it again. Um, what I want to touch on is again the addiction thing, and at this moment, I don't want to talk about the standpoint of uh, the person that's addicted. I want to talk about the standpoint of the person that is affiliated with the addicted, uh, and what that brings along. Um, when someone's addicted, whether it be to drugs or to alcohol, uh, um, you tend to see your loved ones just they don't even resemble the same person. They don't come across as even the same person, and it's very hard to hold on to that love. Well, it's not hard to love them. It's very hard to hold on to that belief that the situation's ever going to get better, or that they're ever going to wake up and see the light and they're just going to quit. And a lot of people that's not addicted to something like that, they think it's a little more simple than what it is. They think that it's like flipping a light switch and the person just quits doing it. That's not the way it works. It doesn't work like that at all. Cause one, it's very dangerous just for them to say I'm not doing it, and they can be very strong-willed. Um, but it's very dangerous to quit it, because just to up and quit. I mean, there's health problems that can come along, a lot of mental problems. Um, there's always, when a person's recovering from addiction, there's always anxiety, there's always depression, there's always um, no trust in anything. There's always a negative personality towards things. So that goes along with it. And people that's not addicted or never been addicted, they don't understand that. They don't understand that the battle it really is. Even cigarettes, for that matter, which I still suffer from addiction from that. But even that, I've seen some of the sweetest people try to quit cold turkey, and boy, they're not so sweet anymore. They turn around and get mean when they go craving that cigarette. Uh, so it's one of those things that it's real easy for people that's never suffered from addiction, that's never been through it, uh, to think it's an easy process. And even the people that's never went through it, that knows that it's not an easy process, they still can't wrap their mind around the thought process of someone that's trying to quit. Uh, they can't wrap their mind around what they're really going through. What is going through their mind on a daily basis. Um, Recovering addicts and recovering alcoholics, recovering people, they do not have the same mindset as others. They will look for reasons to fall off the wagon. They look for reasons to go back to their old ways, and a lot of that has to do with their mentality. Is, especially if negativity comes into their life, that's the first thing, because then they feel justified in saying, you're the one that made me do this. You're the one that made me do it again, or start using again, or start drinking again. You're the one that made me do it. And it makes it easy for them to blame other people for their downfall on it. And typically that's the case, and they'll turn around and they don't care about anything. at that point, because once someone quits an addiction and they make it a lengthy amount of time, it is wonderful to hear someone say they're proud and someone say, hey, you're looking good. You're doing so good. I'm so proud of you. And, a lot of people addicted will backslide. They will fall off the wagon. They'll mess up. And then when they do, they feel worthless, because all of a sudden all that pride and all those people that said they was proud of them, even before the people knows that they messed up, the person that's addicted already knew they messed up, and they are already beating themselves up inside because they did. They're already beating themselves up. And then when people shows a negative reaction towards that, then that just gives the person a reason to go, you know what, it doesn't matter. I did really good, and how much did I get appreciated for it? So who cares? I'm just going to keep doing it. And that's the thought process. And when someone's coming off of an addiction, like I say, their thought process is completely different. It's they see things, what some will see as a simple task in a day is a very hard task in the day for them, because if it doesn't go exactly perfect and according to plan, they have a tendency to go off and really lose it. And it does happen. There's every day is a constant struggle where a lot of people can wake up and just have the most perfect day, a wonderful day. A recovering addict does not have what you call a perfect day, because they have that challenge before them, just making it through the day. Their sleep habits change dramatically, because it's easier to lay in bed and sleep, even if you're not sleeping. It's easier to lay in and not have to wake up and face the day, not have to accept the challenges throughout the day. And it gets really hard. The challenges get very, very hard. And even though a person might have that support system that is proud of them and encouraging them along, which does help, it still is very, very hard. And I will say it's the toughest thing I've ever been through. It really is. And looking back at it, and still pushing forward. I'm coming up on 80 days sobriety, and it's been a struggle daily. Pretty much, it's been a struggle daily since I found, since I accepted Jesus in my heart, and studying the Bible, and found a wonderful family at church, and my family. It's gotten easier, and it's gotten. It's not even a second thought in my mind about breaking my sobriety. But one of the things that people that's never went through addiction and recovery of it, even if they are patient, once it starts getting to that 30 to 60 day mark, they're like, oh, okay, why don't you do this? You need to do this. You need to do that. And they don't realize that it is a slow process. It's a slow process, because if a person hurries too much to try to say, oh, well, I'm cured, I can just go out and do this and this and this, it's just going to throw you right back in. Just going to throw you right back into it. So, and then if God forbid, if there's anything real bad happen, that is like, that's the devil kicking the front door open and saying, come in, son. Come in. The water's fine. Come on in. Because that just opens it right up. And let's face it, there's no recovering addict that ever likes to hear when you do start venturing out into everyday life and stuff, because I personally pretty much just locked myself down. I went on quarantine, didn't even have COVID. I had alcoholism. But, when they do start venturing out, the one thing they don't want to hear is, hey, don't get alcohol, don't buy beer. They don't want to hear that. It's like, hey, have a little faith in me. They don't want to hear, don't hang out with that friend that you used to use drugs, which is good advice, but that's not what person wants to hear. That's not exactly what they want to hear. A good rule of thumb for a recovering addict is take that friend with you that doesn't do it, that would never do it, anytime you go somewhere, and that way they can kind of talk you down if you do have that inclination to do it. But from the outside looking in, I know it's hard for people to understand what the mindset is of someone that's recovering like that. And the mindset is a very gloom and doom place. We can be proud of ourselves for what we accomplish and try to reinforce that, but it's still a gloom and doom place, because all the years that addicts are high or drunk and buzzed up, all that pain and stuff that they were trying to smoke away, shoot up away, or drink away, now it's a reality. And it starts bubbling back up. And then they're trying to hold themselves back and say, I'm not going to let it bother me, but it does bother them. And then they have to try to fight back the urge of doing it. And let's face it, even if you're not an addict, everyday life will kick you in the butt and just make you wonder, man, what can I do? It does happen, but with addicts, it's still a different mindset, because even the smallest things are devastating. The smallest of things are devastating. It doesn't have to be something huge. It could be the smallest of things. And typically, recovering addicts will look for something. Just look for something to set them off. To try to convince themselves that they can't make it without it. Yeah, utilize the counselors. I do. And it's nice to have a counselor. But even in my mind, sometimes, even to this day, I hear the counselor and I'm thinking, this is nonsense. This is a waste of time. But that's the mindset. Recovering addicts don't like to have to take all the medicine that they have to take just to get them through the day. They don't like all these appointments they have to attend, sometimes 3 and 4 in a day. They don't like to do that. And they pull away a lot of times from the people that helped them get help. And the reason they do that is because there's a little bit of resentment. They feel a little bit of resentment towards that person, because while they were high or drunk, they thought, I'm doing just fine. And that person that made them seek help or got them help is an easy person to blame, because they are feeling that anxiety. They are feeling that depression. They are feeling that just the overall aches and pains of it, and physical problems, mental problems. Just numerous things happen whenever you are addicted and you get off of it. And it's not something that's fixed in 30 days. It's not something that's fixed in 3 months. It's not something that's fixed in a year. It's not something that's going to be fixed 6 years from now. It's something that is constantly there and lingering. and you have to deal with it daily. It's a demon that's grabbed a hold of you, and it's there daily. Now, following Jesus and God has eradicated a lot of those demons in my thoughts, and it is wonderful to know they're there helping me. Um, but it's very hard, and it's very hard on the people that has never suffered from it, because, like I say, the knowledge of it and the understanding is very hard for them to grasp. So the best advice to the ones that's never been an addict and suffered from that, um, you got to be very careful about how you approach a recovering addict, and the words you use, and the attitude and personality you use towards them, because they don't their feelings are bouncing off the walls, and it doesn't take much to for a conversation that's being meant in an innocent way to turn into devastation. So I hate to use the term, but handle them with kid gloves a little bit, because you got to give them some leeway on some stuff, because not leeway on reusing or re-drinking or whatever, but you got to give them some leeway a little bit on certain things in everyday life, because they are they're it's tough. They're going through a train wreck in their mind and in their bodies and everything. They're going through a train wreck. If you've never been an addict, and a lot of people, I mean, it'd be hard pressed to find a family out there that doesn't have a loved one that is an addict of some sort. Um, if you're not familiar with it, there's a lot of great information on Google about it. There's a lot of information on numerous websites that isn't talking to the addict. It's talking to the people that are around the addict. It's talking to the people that are involved in the recovery of the person, and kind of helps them understand, because the last thing that a person that's sober and trying to stay that way wants to do is know that the people around them are walking on eggshells. They don't want that. They don't want y'all walking on eggshells. They don't want the people that's not been an addict to act strange towards them, to act weird towards them, and especially the pity party thing. Oh, he's an addict. Don't do that. That's just horrible, because eventually, after a person's sober for a while, they do start getting a sense of pride in them. And if they hear, oh, he was such an addict, but he's doing good now. He is an alcoholic. Oh, he's doing good now. That I don't want to hear that. Don't tell me that. I'm not here for a pity party. Uh, so and recovering people don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear, oh, I feel sorry for him and this and that. There's nobody that wants to hear that. So just read up some information, educate yourself on how to act and be around them, because it'll go a long ways towards their recovery, and it'll go a long ways for them feeling like they're not lost, and that they can lead a normal, healthy life with clear eyes and not blurred eyes and not a cloudy mind. Just be supportive and educate yourself so you can assist them along in the hard task they've undertaken, and in the journey that they've embarked on. That's not an easy one. And I wanted to send that out to the ones that do have loved ones that they're trying to help, and that they fear for, and that they they stay awake at night worrying about, and things like that. That you can help, you can make a difference in their life. Ultimately, it's them that has to take the first step. It's them that has to make it up in their mind and in their heart that that kind of life is no good for them, and that they need to get help. But the ones that aren't addicted, the more educated, the more they know how to deal with that situation, will go a long way. You can contact your local DHHR, your local FMRS, um, shelters, clinics, rehab clinics, and I'm sure they would be happy to send you pamphlets and a lot of information on their services and a lot of information on what you can do to help assist them reach out and achieve their goals to quit. So I wanted to pass that along. I hope it will help some of you. And for those out there that are recovering and staying sober these days, God bless you. Good luck. I'm praying for you, and you're being strong, and I'm proud of you. And just keep on keeping on, and give it heck. Let people know how strong you are, and that nothing can get you down. Till the next video, God bless you. Later.